Okay, Sebastian, hold on. Okay. So we're having some technical problems. Okay, let's get the comments going. Oh, we're on the street. Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just stand by. Stand by, folks. This is we have to get our hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, we had some technical problems here, so it just happens in the world of live streaming. Welcome. We're gonna go. It's dark here in Los Feliz, California. I know we don't have a lot of people on yet. Hello. Hey, welcome to the show. So as soon as we hit the boulevard, we'll get more live. Friendly ones. Okay, we're live. Multiple ones. So I have my this Saturday night around. Hello. Let me read this because the boulevard is the show. Let's rotate the camera. Okay, here we are, coming up on Los Feliz Boulevard. Oh, hold on. And it's Saturday night, and oh, okay. So look at that. Flowers everywhere. Beautiful. There we go. In our 100-year-old neighborhood, well, actually 101, the neighborhood was built in 1923. So Sebastian and I are in the Celebrity Centre, and set it for horizontal, but somehow it didn't save. So let me see if I can change it so you can get more of the boulevard. And there we go. Oh, look at that. Sebastian. Oh, come on. Look at that. That beautiful borzoi. So that's our light patrol. Well, good evening. Yeah, it is cutting in and out. We're going to have some cells. This part of Los Feliz sometimes you can see the dense trees, the park. We're right next to Griffith Park, which is one of the largest parks in the United States. You can Google it. And so there's a couple of mountains. We're near the Hollywood sign, Griffith Park Observatory. So sometimes, not always, but sometimes cell coverage can be spotty. And I like to blame it on the Marcabs. But hey, yep, been there. So anyway, we're walking. It'd be a good project. I haven't been taking you guys out for a walk lately at night. You have to get out, stretch your legs. And Sebastian, an hour every night, 7 nights a week. And we usually take a different route by the Black Dahlia house and go through those streets. I wanted to show you a mansion. Beautiful place. However, it's under their street was blocked. They're doing some filming. So I think our next walk is going to be a daytime walk. Some of the beautiful, magnificent old homes in the area. But it is something to see in the day. So vivid. Anyway, on I don't know. I haven't checked the live streams. Are there? Hey everyone. Don't forget. Oh, hi, Sir Crap. But us. Look forward to talking to you. In Scientology, they don't have talking to each other. They call it two-way comm, or TWC. Like, they're not people, there's terminals. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I do have my scanner with me, so we're gonna look at some radio frequency, some radio noise, see what's up on the scanner. And look, I cast a long shadow. Yes, reach out tomorrow anytime. See, 1 o'clock would be great. 1 p.m. I'm en route south to check out something. So I've been in the car for at least an hour. Yeah, in the car at least an hour. A long ride tomorrow to go. Now here's the intersection. There's the new building they just opened, the 1860, and that's the new. They're tearing down everything on the main streets and putting up these 5/1s, these condo units where you have first story concrete steel, parking usually underground, and then you can go up 5 stories with wood, so they call them 5/1s. They're easy to get approved and coded, and so that newest building's a 5/1. It's not fully opened yet, but at least the sidewalks are in. They had those torn up, and here's the, what do we got here? 5-headed cobra with hot crazy dia something. Anyway, that was at the Roxy a while back. So that sign's been up. David Miscavige honking at me from the RTC car. Sit with your emotions. Okay, there you go. Sit with your emotions. What else? The advertising we have going on. Back to Black. Only in theaters May 17th. Marisa Abella is Amy Winehouse. Wow. I love the music of Amy Winehouse. That's going to be... She's going to really be up to the challenge to play Amy Winehouse. And I'm going to see that movie. Generally, an interesting thing. In the past, before the dark days of the pandemic, every time a celebrity would die, Scientology would say, we could have helped them. You know, if that's if said celebrity died of drugs or alcohol, they always said, and John Travolta would always say, Scientology could have helped them. And John said that when Whitney Houston died at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where I often stayed. It's a great hotel. But so they didn't say that about Amy Winehouse. One wonders why. This is Immaculate Heart. It's a Catholic school for girls and young ladies. It's a very nice, beautifully kept campus. There's a huge monastery up nearby, and the Catholic Church sold it to an actress. Magnificent piece of property. Sometimes, okay, kids, no smoking or vaping. Understood? Okay. Yeah, Scientology didn't save Kelly Preston. You know, that is, you are exactly correct. Kelly Preston, it didn't save John and Kelly's son, Jet Travolta. He had autism. They refused to treat him. Even John Travolta's brother protested about that. Kelly said that Jet had problems, her late son, who preceded her in death. Said that he had Kawasaki syndrome because John and Kelly used to get their carpets obsessively cleaned. So Kelly blamed it on carpet fumes and called it Kawasaki syndrome when in fact it was autism. And as from what I heard, later in their life they tried to give Jet Neurontin in hopes of treating him. But Jet sadly went to use the restroom in the middle of the night and had a seizure and hit his head on the sink. A brutal way, but quick to go. And John Travolta started a Jet Memorial charity, but that never went anywhere. And then, of course, Kelly died at only age 57, and she was a non-smoker. And there's always been a perennial conversation about why it seems that too many Scientologists die of cancer. That's always been, it seems to be, I mean, this is all anecdotal, there's no statistical studies. And if somebody wanted to put together a spreadsheet with unknown cause of death, there is a list on You can Google Scientology. They should not have died, and they list Scientologists. So Google Scientology, they should not have died. That's a website. It'll show Scientologists who died. And another leading cause of death in Scientology is suicide. Tragic but true suicide. And that's list may not be updated to reflect the most current deaths, but of course, Kelly Preston, Chick Corea, Kirstie Alley, the last 3 celebrities Scientology lost. And so we're, let me get the comments. Oh yeah, Nexium, really Nexium? I didn't know that. Nexium said they could cure Tourette syndrome. I had no idea. Wow, I was not aware of that. This is why I like to interact with an audience. There's so many things you learn from your audience. I had no idea Nexium made health claims, and didn't know that. Of course, Nexium's leader is in jail. Hopefully to be followed by the ecclesiastical leader of Scientology, one David Miscavige, subpoena evader, habitual chronic subpoena evader. I wonder if they have like, they do teach you how to evade subpoenas in Scientology. For example, the CERG members are never allowed to touch a piece of registered mail. So if you were the U.S. postal carrier going to a Scientology org and you had a piece of registered mail that had to be signed for, they will not accept it. They don't accept it. And strict protocols of any mail going in and out of the orgs. Boy, we have night blooming jasmine. It's wonderful out here. Hey, we should stop in the psychic and get a reading. There's a $15, it says, psychic love expert, a $15 special. Oh, wow. You know what? One night, not tonight, because I don't have time, kids, but one night we're going to go in. I'm going to see if we can get a live psychic reading. Hey, I'm up for that. How many people want me to do a live psychic reading? Maybe one night, maybe next Saturday night. She's never open. What, the psychic reader? No, it's like, no, I think I will get a live, if she'll agree to do it on camera, I'd love to get a live psychic reading. Just, that would be fun. I did, okay, sorry, just bear with me. We may get some dropouts. I'll cross over to the other side at the next sidewalk. So, yeah, I'm always up for psychic adventures. Look up, really, Mark Elliott said that Nexium, wow, these are great comments. Huh. Yeah, so, okay, so we're past the psychic reader, which means we're halfway there. Hey, maybe we could get some of us locals in LA and go for a psychic reading. Just something to show other modalities out there. L. Ron Hubbard said that Scientology was the pathway into the spirit world. He had a lot of 19th century American mystical things in his early, like the Golden Dawn, Gregor Mathers, and so on. It's not just Aleister Crowley that informed him. Hubbard grew up okay. Again, I'm sorry. It's not safe to cross over to the other side of the street until we get to the crosswalk, so just bear with me. But I was saying L. Ron Hubbard was very much into the 19th century American occult. And there's a thing I mentioned before. It's electro, if you Google electro-psychometric scouting battles of the universe, or battle of the universes. Electro-psychometric scouting. When L. Ron Hubbard first discovered the e-meter, because he did not invent it, didn't know about it, Dianetics was done without the meter. That was Volney Matheson's, and that's what I'm working on. So when Hubbard first got his hands on an e-meter, he used it to conduct an electronic seance, and he and Mary on the internet, the Battle of the Universes tape. He's actually trapped a spirit by use of an e-meter. L. Ron Hubbard also claims that he was a Swami on Hollywood Boulevard, that he wrapped a towel around his head for a turban and made money as a Swami, which I tend to believe. So the fact that he worked as a Swami on Hollywood Boulevard and he wrote this, I didn't. And using this sort of stuff, I suspect a lot of maybe he was a cold reader, who knows. But the early Scientology, the period of Hubbard's life from 1945 until 1949, before he launches Dianetics, is a really interesting period, because that's when he writes to the Veterans Administration stating that he has suicidal ideations and wants them to fund some psychiatric treatment because he's not been able to rise above his morosity. Hey, Nike brand, yeah. I did a video as E. Stuart Mills, and the Nikes that the members of the Heaven's Gate cult wore when they did their mass exit, their mass unaliving, those Nikes they wore had to be discontinued by Nike. The management of the, oops, what was that? Yeah. The management of the company said that the Nike shoes worn by Heaven's Gate were too controversial. They discontinued it, so now the Nike Heaven's Gate Death shoe goes for $2,000. Light, and the sky lights up crimson. Look at it. Look at the sky going crimson. It's a amazing look. Wow. When it goes. Okay. So there's Gelson's. Okay, we should be through the period where there's dropouts. I apologize, but when we're up against all the foliage, it's the bad side of the street. Hello. Okay, so we're almost at La Poubelle and the Celebrity Centre. So we'll see what's going on up yonder. This light show is pretty amazing. And because the marine layers here is coming from the Pacific Ocean, which is we're not that far from the ocean. Yeah, when that sky, I want to get one more shot of it going crimson. It's quite spectacular when they do the color change. It is busy tonight, I gotta tell you. Karen and I were out earlier, and the traffic was enormous. So let's see what's going on at La Poubelle. Writers. Okay, well there you go. More advertising here locally. Okay. Well, there's a crowd outside of La Poubelle, and let's see what signs we have. A rubber face man. It says, do you see one cheddar odd face man in the park? This is a strange poster. So there appears to be a strange alien type of man. They're calling him a chud in Griffith Park. Huh. Hello. Hi. Sure. He's very friendly.
She's very friendly?
Oh, yes. Sebastian.
What kind of dog is he?
It's a Russian wolfhound.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah, a
How
borzoi.
old is he?
5. Yeah.
He's huge.
He's
So sweet.
he's like a movie star quality dog.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
Me, not so much. But he's very friendly. The breed's really friendly.
I feel like I've like wanted to see one of these dogs. Is it the same as like an Irish wolfhound?
No, it's a Russian wolfhound.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of a greyhound and I just drew a blank. A greyhound and an Afghan. And they were bred to hunt foxes by the Russians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
But they were used in a lot of Art Deco advertising.
So sweet.
I know, look at him. He's a show dog. The red color is fairly rare, but he's just my boy. So we're just out taking a tour.
Thanks for letting me say
Oh,
that.
you're very welcome.
Your CIA hat is funny.
It's Cult Investigative Agency. It's the other CIA.
The other CIA.
No, well, when you wear a CIA hat, it's like a conversation starter.
Yeah, of course.
It's like,
No,
if I denied I was with the CIA, that could be a lie. I'm not with the CIA, ma'am. That means you are. Well, and then if I admit I am, it's like, oh my God, the CIA. Why are they after me?
You're like, well, I know,
So-
but you don't.
Well, it's one of those. A CIA hat is one of those. You're always going to win,
Yeah.
and it shifts the power balance to: is he really CIA or is he? If he's not, then he is. So he must be,
So he must be. It's like.
or with one of the other agencies. Like I'm really with the NSA, but I'm wearing a CIA hat. So you never know.
Yeah.
And it's just an Amazon hat. So anyway.
It's nice to meet you.
Oh, good to meet you. Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, Sebastian. Okay, I don't see much going on. There's a long line in front of La Poubelle. And so we're going to skip it because I have my Sebastian with me. We might come back on the other way. But there's Celebrity Centre. Again, as I always say, let me see my messages. Yeah, I have the most photographed wrist. People love taking pictures of Sebastian. Me, no. Okay, so we have the walk. Let's go. Okay, so now, yes, Oscar, we are. Okay, so give me a minute, folks. There's. Okay, we're going to reconnect. Okay, so we're just doing some more signals mapping just to see what the ambient is tonight. I've myself or other people have walked it to get the baseline, so we were doing an ongoing project, and it may not yield any results, but it's just interesting to see. We want to get the frequencies. Okay, so that's being logged as this unit uploading into a cloud. Just to see what the Scientologists are up to. And they're gated. Oh, wow. They're gated. And then there's the guard shack. Hold on, Sebastian. There's the guard shack. I think it's actually a UFO. The Scientology spaceship, one of them. But yeah, they're gated tonight. I wonder if Celebrity Centre is closed. Did they forget to pay their rent? I don't know. The cameras are up and operating. No, they're open. The gates usually open, but I guess since they've gone on lockdown, they sorry, Sebastian's pulling, and oh, I have to go back and get my glove. I can't. I have an exquisite Oh, don't want to forget that. I dropped my fine gentleman's glove. You don't want to lose that because you don't want to. Yep, still noisy. You don't want to lose your fine glove because Scientology could get my DNA off it, and then they would clone me, and they would have a fake me. It could happen. No, they don't have cloning technologies. They're just brainwashing. Scientologists hate that word brainwashing. They hate it. They hate that word brainwashing. And the cult apologist Massimo Intravigne from Cheshire, CES. Hi, Julia. B, good to see you here. Remember how we heard industrial noise a while back? Well, you know what? I saw DOA's thing on the tunnel. That I need more evidence. That could just be reinforcing a concrete footing on an old building. Because one thing about here's my take on the tunnels, and this is just mine kind of take as engineering type. LA, even this street, has so much underground infrastructure. A lot of it goes back 100 years or more. Oil pipes now, and there's a whole underground world to town, big and things. To be able to get a tunnel boring machine, even a small one, you have to have an entry point, so you'd have to break the foundation. So I saw the dirt. It would be very difficult given the seismic, we're right literally on top of a seismic fault, small one here in Los Feliz. And to be able to actually bore a tunnel, given the dense infrastructure, and you would need a tunnel boring machine, bring in reinforced concrete. You can watch videos on how they make tunnels. I don't think it's there, personally. I haven't watched DOA's. I watched part of his videos. So given the age and what's already down there, and then the sewer mains that run, I want to go down and look more at it. And I think maybe they were pouring some concrete, because when a foundation gets damaged, we had a lot of here's something about on the tunnels. These past 2 years, we've had record rainfall here in Southern California and up in the Northern California and the Sierras, record. So what happens when you get that much water in the ground and it starts filling underground reservoirs and aquifers and replenishing them, it increases the hydrostatic pressure in the ground. So as a consequence of the heavy rains, a lot of the older buildings have had problems and cracks in their foundations, because just the enormous volume of water that California filled our reservoirs. Some of them went to Shasta up north, went to capacity, I believe, Oroville. I think it's more likely that's related to foundational cracks due to increased hydrostatic pressure, because a tunnel, you can't really build illegally. You can't build an unpermitted tunnel, and then you'd have to get it would make sense when a sky bridge would be another cheaper solution, just to build a sky bridge from the hotel over to AO. A sky bridge would allow trucks to clear. It would be cheaper and faster. So I'm an engineering type. I really see a lot of complications in trying to build either a permit. Okay, yeah, just some dropouts are going to happen. Well, no, the goal here's the thing. Let me give you some history on tunnels, and maybe I'll do a video. Yeah, Arnie Lerma, when he was alive, he called me more than once, and he said that there were tunnels under Gold Base, and they had gold mines. And there's no, Gold Base out in San Jacinto, there's it was started as a resort with natural hot springs, and those hot springs were generated by a fault. There's an active fault running along that's what formed the upthrust or the mountain. You see it, pictures of Gold Base, that was formed by the seismic, by the fault. And so Arnie swore that they were using surrogate slave labor to work in the gold mines. I disagree with Arnie on that because there's not, I mean, it's not like an alluvial fan, if you know that rock formation or that type of formation where you would expect to find gold. This is not like an alluvial fan. When I researched gold in the area, just to, so I'm not, without more information, like you can buy clean fill dirt in LA. There's a lot of it because we have so much construction going on here. Let me give you an example. Let's turn on the camera. Now, if you look at this soil, what we can do is, one, we could probably, if I want to dig through here, in fact I will, I'm going to show you a couple things. Here's some of the soil, and we are at Celebrity Centre. Okay, so I have the light on. I'm going to show you something that me as an engineering, type. Due to the abundant nature of construction, there's some flat spots, like right here. That's consistent with a backhoe doing some excavation. And so we need a mining engineer. That doesn't look to me like it would be done by a boring machine. This just looks like that new building I showed you, that condo project, the 5/1. This is very densely packed rock, which you would expect to find, along with clean fill dirt. I think they just bought clean fill dirt. And what you see here, part of an attempt to fight the homeless is that a lot of private businesses are putting these kinds of crates with dirt and plants, in some cases cacti, to keep the homeless from camping out. This is an anti-homeless measure. A judge ruled that the homeless can, in fact, sleep on public land if they can camp out on public land if the municipality cannot make shelter available to them. So this dirt, and again, I'm not a mining engineer or a geologist, but it looks like it's just excavated dirt. It's extremely dry, which means it's been sitting in a pile for a long time. This is not newly excavated. And like I said, I Googled clean fill dirt, and there's plenty for sale around LA. This doesn't look like it came out. I mean, it's as dry as a bone, and there are marks on it that are consistent with being excavated by a backhoe. Now ants have taken to, you can see ants down there. So the fact that ants are living in there, I just don't, they excavated that. Whenever they excavated it, there's some water there, some damp soil there. So that part hasn't dried up. That's why I don't, the premise or the argument that there's tunnels, one, you'd have to have a geological expert to look at that soil. My impression is that it's local clean fill dirt designed to prevent live streamers from encamping there. So that's just a preventative measure, because then you can't camp, you can't block the sidewalk where these giant containers are. You could actually erect tents there legally if you were homeless. Police might take you out eventually, but so that's an anti-live streamer First Amendment auditor to prevent another encampment has happened at Occupy Pack Base or at the Manor Hotel. But I'm going to go down. I mean, I know LA Way pretty well, and I do have sales. Well, I have soil samples here. You can come down and get some if you want. Yeah, it's used as a base for potting soil. Yeah, I don't think it's been excavated from under the earth. Well, Church of Scientology, I take your point, they're always up to something sneaky. That's what makes them Scientology. They wouldn't be Scientology unless they were sneaky, law-breaking pukes. I mean, they are a cult after all. Now, another measure here, They put up the gates, which I showed you in the previous live stream. Private property, gated, spikes. No one's getting over that fence. And then they have an eagle. Yes, they have, look at this. They have a little hummingbird. See the gold hummingbird? This is a nice little decorative touch they've added. I just want to bring up my camera so I can show you the hummingbird. Isn't that a nice I'm sorry, I didn't mean to move the camera so fast. Isn't that a nice decorative touch? A golden hummingbird. It must mean something within the iconography of Scientology. The golden hummingbird implant. That must be in Hubbard's Secret Things, the golden hummingbird implant. Now see, they planted these nice little palm trees. Again, these are anti-encampment measures. And Scientology is not the only one doing this. But Scientology is doing it in particular to fend off encampments. So this is all new here. I have historical pictures of Berendo when they built the brick road. Scientology, when it had Berendo named L. Ron Hubbard Way, it used to be Berendo. If you want to look at old permits, Berendo, Berendo Street, and they renamed it L. Ron Hubbard Way. So I want to get some as-built and some plans. There's a lot of smart people out there doing checking on permitting. I saw a comment, maybe it was on Aaron's show, about doing some checking into permitting. So they could conceivably build a tunnel, but I think that you'd have to have a boring machine because that's the way you do it, and you'd have to like bypass a lot of the existing infrastructure. Like I said, if you really just wanted to move people, you could build a skyway like they have at Flag that connects the Fort Homicide Hotel, as we call it, with Flag. Okay, so sorry for the dropout. Now, I'm not ruling out the possibility that they've built another tunnel to Okay, sorry we dropped out. Let me turn off the light. What I'm trying to do as part of my, when I get drop-offs, I'm trying to look at certain frequencies. There's someone else looking at a wider band than what I have here in this handheld. We're trying to determine okay, so look, I don't know, they could be building another tunnel, but it seems like you would have to have a much larger opening and close the parking garage, because you have to break open the foundation, get a boring machine in, connect to an existing tunnel, do the seismic engineering, and that would be at least, I would guess, 2 to 3 years of permitting and seismic studies, geological, soil compaction. I don't know how you could do it under an existing road that's used every day. A lot of heavy vehicles move over that, big trucks move over that road. So I don't know how you could do it without closing the road. And the LA subway is a huge, massive project that went on for years and years. So I'm not ruling it out, but I don't see it. The other night they had the paramedics roll up at Celebrity Centre, and someone inside the hotel there for public Scientologists going to AO had a medical event, a medical emergency, and they actually had to transport this Scientologist out of the hotel in plain sight of God and everybody else, and maybe they want a tunnel for privacy. So I don't think so, but I'm not ruling it out because I need to go down and inspect. And one way you could do is you go to, I do know that the government has used satellite, radar penetrating satellites to map LA, including Scientology complexes, including Gold Base, Pac Base. So the government, the feds have a good idea what's exactly under there, and would probably conform to the as-built, because you don't want to modify those tunnels, because you modify a tunnel, you get all kinds of problems. So the engineering and permitting would take a lot of time. If you just secretly built a tunnel, unless you had experts on it, you would risk a collapse of the tunnel, a catastrophic collapse that could kill people. So I'm not, what I was going to say, go to Google Earth, and you know how you can select different years? I would look at the brick patterns that DOA was pointing out, and he was suggesting they were indicative of a tunnel. The bricks are periodically replaced just due to wear and tear, because L. Ron Hubbard Way is a street a lot of people use, including myself, when you don't want to go down Vermont. LRH is a quick way, so because it has a traffic light, and when you have a traffic light, you can turn left and crowd it. Anyway, you can look at Google Satellite, look at the brickwork, and I would try to get just Google Imaging, or there's other companies and firms you can go to and buy some. You can even, if you wanted to pay for a flyby from a satellite, you can get some high-resolution pictures of the bricks to see if any have been modified. It would stand to reason if you were like, how many of you remember Boris Badenov and Natasha, Rocky and Bullwinkle? Okay, John B. I say, knock on the hotel door and ask if you can see if they have a tunnel. Well, that's the most direct way. Hey, I'm here, Scientology. I want to see that really keen tunnel, that really neat tunnel you have, because I'm really interested. You could just do it. That's always the direct approach. Someone might accidentally say, oh yeah, the tunnel. Do you have the password? And who knows? John Henry drove his hammer 15 yards, and oh yeah, that's true. Yes, but we're talking, Scientologists. So who knows? I'm gonna go down and look it out. Like I said, the dirt, I don't know. I'm gonna try to find, get a hold of, someone who's a soils engineer, mining engineer, something like that. I used to know a guy who worked for Rio Tinto. I think he went down to a copper mine in it was high altitude, Peru, somewhere in South America. He left the big borax mine there out in the Mojave Desert, and went down to one of their 7,000, 8,000 foot copper mines that Siemens built all the infrastructure for. So if I could get some expert on mining and soils and geology and all that, if we get a professional, they would be able to tell us right away. So not much going on at La Poubelle. They need to empty that trash can. They had a street event here, and it's a mess. So what do you think? I can't do a poll, but tunnel or not, what do you think? Add some comments. They could have done it, but I'm going to have to defer to an expert. So, okay, what is this? Popular Kids Club, an outdoor comedy show. Where's it at? So that's a comedy show that you can scan. Cost doesn't have any framing up for an above ground cement project, and there isn't any. Yeah, that's what I agree, Mike. Yeah, so I mean, one of the problems here, let's just kick this around the comments. If you were a vendor dealing in cement, or really any of the trades, you're not going to risk your license or getting sued or your livelihood to work for Scientology on a secret, unpermitted tunnel. I mean, if you're an illegitimate company, some shell company out of Wyoming that's untraceable, you still have the problem of you have to have vehicles, license plates, you still have to have employees. I mean, it's kind of like if you're going to put together a covert tunnel, well, I would say the first thing I'm going to check is see what's underground there already. in terms of sewer mains, electrical vaults, because I was studying the electrical layout the other night, photographing it, see what goes underground. So there's DWP maps, Los Angeles Department of Water and Power maps. So I'm going to do some research on that. Yeah. Yeah, we could rent a ground penetrating radar machine. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I agree with you, Nancy. Yeah, there are some companies who would definitely do it. Here in LA, well, we've had so many corrupt leaders at City Hall, a couple of supervisors, got convicted. So some of our politicians would, down at City Hall in the last 5 years, there's been more than a few of them who were indicted and put to trial, so convicted. And yeah, you have enough money here. All kinds of stuff goes on, including now here's another sign. They're searching. Oh, look at this. Here, let me turn on my light. This is just part of weird LA. Hold on. Okay, so there. Oh wow. Poked to a throat. Wow. This thing says don't do it. I guess this is warning us to beware of people who are going to feed you drugs. It's almost like a Scientology motif of psychiatrists. And so this is warning us of some danger here. Huh. So there, some zombie hand with, it kind of looks like a chick track, and I mean that as a compliment. But there was a sign we saw on the other side of the street warning us of a strange creature in Griffith Park. We're going to go by there on our way home, because now that it seems like the live streamers, TikTokers have moved on from La Poubelle, at least tonight. What's happening is these signs are going up about strange creatures, persons. You're being warned. And often I find the art of the streets, the thoughts of the street. When I was in Georgetown many years ago, like 1982, if memory serves, I had to go to Georgetown. And I just loved the place. Went to DC. I was there for, like 3 months. And that's the first time I saw a fellow carrying a sandwich board warning us about silent radio mind control. And I have a picture of me with him there in Georgetown, but he said the government was using silent radio mind control. That began when Marconi invented the radio, and then it became manufactured and in distribution. People were worried. Well, actually, when electricity began to enter private homes, they were worried that electricity would leak out of the walls at night and get you. That's something to think about if it were 1924. Would electricity leak out of the wall sockets and get you while you were sleeping? Just like we saw the psych poster back there of some strange person force feeding you pills or hitting you in the throat and taking you over. So that's that's the kind of the theme on the street right now, of strange persons. And so we're gonna go, but I want to check that other poster out, because I have a fascination with this kind of thing that goes on the streets, because it often makes its way, if it's not already on the internet, it's from the internet, it'll be on the internet. So, wow, look at that car. It's festooned with bumper stickers. Like, bumper stickers are such a 70s thing, but this car, Out There Bar, the last cold beer on Highway 62. Oh, I've been there. I know exactly where that is. So we've got a car here. It has a holy card on the dashboard. Look at that. That is so, that's, you can see, do you see the holy card on the dashboard? Wow. I think it's Saint Germain, maybe Saint Germain. Wow, a holy card. And then there's a note, something about a trap. It says mouse trap or something. Strange car. Holy card on it, bumper stickers. These are the mental notes you must make as you circumambulate. Okay, that's a nice silver Lexus across the street. And okay, so we have a holy card in a strange car. Interesting. The fellows that just passed by, smells like clove cigarettes. Redolent of clove cigarettes. So they're enjoying their stroll with this, with something you don't smell too often, clove cigarettes. And here's another sign. At Wilton Place. What does it mean? What can it mean? Let's take one more look. Okay, now that is a skull, and it's holding cubes, one of which has a radio transmitting tower. And if you go back, it says later days. You can make it out, later days with a skull. How you doing? Okay, let's go. I think now. There's all the rich houses up on the hill. Okay. Stay with me, folks. I've got to situate myself here. Okay, I'm going to turn off the scanner. We have what we wanted to collect, a sample, just a random sample. I'm going to turn off the okay, so back to the walk. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to do walk the dog stream. Oh, gotta get across the boulevard. Okay. So let's look at the comments. Oh yeah, we ultimately, Swag, need to, and excuse me if I didn't pronounce that, don't bring on my glasses. Yeah, we ultimately, the goal is to revoke Scientology's tax exemption. And I want to do a podcast. I was talking to one of my colleagues today, maybe do for new Scientology watchers, an overview of how the church is actually constructed, just a simple, easy to understand franchise operation. It's just educational, and so that might be a good show to do, because there's so many people who, like, it's easy to explain. Scientology wants to be complicated, but when you break it down, it's very easy to break down. in terms of its legal and corporate structures. Now I see all this up on the telephone poles. See, Fountain Avenue, everything around here is electrical, but a lot of it goes down into the street. So here we see, okay, here's an example of, there's a meter. And so I was examining this kind of infrastructure to look at the power feed for Pac Base, just out of curiosity. See the step-down transformers, the cable lines, you know. So when you look at a street like this, the underground density to service a population, and especially there's Kaiser Permanente Hospital, and you have these dense institutional buildings that serve large populations. So the underground infrastructure is significant. And again, I go back to that like how much is down there? What would you have to work around? If you did it illegally, what would happen if you ruptured a high pressure natural gas line? I mean, there's still some oil lines from when oil was, I mean, Beverly Hills High School, there's actually oil being drilled next to Beverly Hills High School. The oil rig's covered up, but it's still being, again, here's what I mean. Okay, see, up yonder. Now if we go down, see the gray pipe? Let me turn on. Okay, if we look at this electrical line, it's, you know, I don't know what it is up there, right? High kV, but it goes down into the ground. That's my point. There's a lot of electrical energy being pumped underground, and it feeds. So that kind of high kV three-phase power is going underground along with natural gas lines. That's why the complexity. So I would say first understand what's under the ground, and then actually, is it feasible to even do it? Even if you did it criminally with an unpermitted basis, it's not like digging a small trench to rob a bank like you see in movies. They dug under the bank and they come up through the floor. It's not like that at all. It would be so much more complex. And even the drug traffickers with the cartels in Mexico that go under the US border, those are very sophisticated operations. And now let's look at this. Look at all the advertising here. Let's see. Strawberry money, duffel, ultra fresh crew. Up top you can see the doomsayers. I'm going to go up there to the doomsayers. Yep, these are the streets. I still am going to leave the light on until we can see the other poster. I didn't take time on it, but I want to know what the creature is wandering around Griffith Park. Because that legend, ever since I was a kid, I mean, I was born here in LA, and ever since I've been a kid, you know, there's always been rumors of strange creatures in Griffith Park. My folks used to take me and my brother and sister along. You know, we would do the pony rides in the train, and for I think about a quarter you could get, they had a hot wax machine that would make like this cheap plastic mold of a dinosaur. So, but there's always rumors of like Pink Lady was a ghost in Griffith Park. It's over by the old zoo. Pink Lady, many people claim to see the Pink Lady, and she was a young lady who died getting out of her carriage, trampled by a horse and killed. So the Pink Lady is. And of course, when I was growing up, like 64, the Sasquatch rumors of this tall human-like creature in Alaska, Northern California, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska. up north, the Sasquatch would wander around. And maybe that was one of the first early Dianeticists on whom Dr. Hubbard got things wrong with his Dianazine capsules and Dianetics processes. So maybe Sasquatch was an early Dianeticist gone wrong who escaped from the org. Who knows? The mind given to wonder can contrive all sorts of possibilities, which is why the mind is such a wonderful thing. Here's more. There's Strawberry Money, America's favorite band. Okay, well, we'll just, a minute says. So these guys are around. So a shout out to Strawberry Money. Shout out. Good for you. You got to start on the streets. That's going to get noticed. That's kind of a neat name. Okay, wait. Wow. Damn, that dog is ugly. My dog? No. Which dog? Sir Crepitus. Do Scientology count? Okay, Dom 444. Does Scientology count their money they get as donations? Yes. That's smart, kind of. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then there's a note. A tunnel needs fresh air intake and exhaust as well as temperature control. Yeah, it does. Mike, you're correct. It needs all that stuff. Waterproofing, expansion joints. Yeah, it's something tunnels are complex, especially if you're going to use them on an ongoing basis. Oh, hi. Hi. Hello to the UK. Pick 61. I'm glad you're up early. No, he's a beautiful beast. Got a little bit of scratchy. So, yeah, tunnel, Mike, I'm glad we have some technical types. Yeah, it's like there's so much to tunnels, including the vibrations from just cars driving over the street. Down around the courthouse where Danny Masterson was convicted, there's a lot of tunnels, and they go to like the they had a tunnel they used to transport prisoners in, high-value prisoners. But that was damaged, I think, in the Northridge earthquake. But then they moved. There's this big tunnel complex I'm in often enough in the Hall of Records, and it's like it goes on for a long way, and it's always damp and cold down there when you go down to the Hall of Records to pull stuff out of the archives. But it's kind of neat to see. So I put the possibility of a tunnel at less than 20%. And then when I get down there, I'll maybe get more solid on it. You know what we missed, I think? I was looking for the, oh, look at this. So much sinister things on our posts. And then the Marvel Universe on cans of Coke. Look at the juxtaposition. We had a skull death head, and then we have Marvel on cans of Coca-Cola. What a juxtaposition of imagery. Now I'm frustrated because I was looking for the Griffith Park creature to show you guys. We have to look into that. Now look at this apparatus coming through the street. Mike, what is that? Does it connect to an underground operation? It's venting something. There's five-headed cobra again, and I guess I wonder if it got moved. So we're going to be crossing the street soon. Okay, let's go. Okay, now if you go across the street, This entire intersection was ripped up. You can see the dark asphalt. Maybe I'll come during the day. But when you looked at the amount of infrastructure and the complexity of it when they were putting up this new building, I saw them putting in all the sewer mains, electrical, everything else. It's very complex. It was fascinating to watch it. This project took a long time. It took a long time to open. And they put in all these new guardrails and things. Look at how dark that building is. Do you like it? Yes, no? Would you reside there? I think rents for like a one bedroom, $2,500 to $3,000 here in LA for a one bedroom. I don't know what a studio would go for. Okay, well, that was our quick tour of the Celebrity Centre. The takeaway is they're putting in big containers of soil as a measure to keep people from pitching tents. They're planting palm trees as a countermeasure to prevent people from pitching trees. So Scientology's gone on the defensive. Do not camp outside our orgs. They've gotten new cameras, they've locked down, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. Tunnel, I don't know, that's an outside possibility. And we'll research that as a project. If you want to reach out to me, or if you're in LA and you're a geological expert, we could certainly have a fun live stream on that. So, oh, hi, Kayla from Chicago. You're up late. Glad to get the Saturday Night Live crowd. Oh, yeah. So, okay. And with that, I think we're Sebastian and I. Oh, there's a box. I wonder if that's the shipping container for OSA. Let's see who's hiding in it. Oh, it's just garbage. So it was OSA. A bag in the street containing the frozen head of Walt Disney. I don't know. See, that's the thing about here. Now, we went to the Black Dahlia house last time. So we're up at the, since we're all night owls, it's a bit of a walk, but I don't know are you guys interested in seeing the Black Dahlia house? It'd be like, is that something we should do or just call it a night? Pack it in because it's late here. Yes, on the Black Dahlia. It's a bit of a walk, but seeing the infamous Black Dahlia house. Usually Sebastian and I go east at night, but tonight we went west. But it's such a great house. You know, I think I'll do, since I'm been gone all day, I think we'll do the Black Dahlia tomorrow. And instead of just even doing Scientology, nothing, we'll just do a special Black Dahlia tour. And if I can work it around, there's I still want to do the haunted Los Feliz tour, and I just have to organize that. It'd be fun to have. I would need a camera person with me. We would drive around and do haunted Los Feliz just for the fascination and entertainment value, but we might actually run into something. Who knows? Who knows? Let's turn on the lights here. Up. Yeah. Nicely. Okay, yeah, I think tomorrow night, we're gonna do Los Feliz because the hour draws late, and the ghosts will start coming out, which is fine by me. Night blooming. I wish you could smell how fragrant it is here. It's just wonderful. Look at those plants. Our neighbor planted this garden so beautifully, and it just flourishes. It's just, look at that desert cactus. various cacti. Wow, what's not to like, right? Well, thank you so much for accompanying Sebastian and I on our walk. I'm sorry we missed follow for photos. I'm sorry we missed the Griffith Park, but I'm going to try to locate one. I'm sure there's one down by the Black Dahlia house. So that's the latest intrigue I'll leave you with. Who's the strange creature wandering in Griffith Park? The strange half human, half monster creature. Is it an OT-8 who was overrun on the ship? It could be. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for accompanying Sebastian and myself on our night walk. Always enjoy your company late at night. And we will definitely do Black Dahlia tomorrow and check the place for ghosts. Have a very good evening, my friends.